Okay, I'm live right now. I'm trying to bounce around and figure out. Let's see. I'm trying not to make sure I ain't got any commitment in it. It's popped up anywhere that don't need to be seen. Let's go here. We got to find our live. This will be it. Okay. Simplifying the recruiting process. Uh, I've got about 5 or 6 steps here that I'm going to go through and explain pretty quickly, and then I may watch some highlight tapes too on top of this, just to add on to the end of this live. Okay. All right. Step number one, and this is probably the most important step. I would say it's the most important step to anybody's recruiting process. And I almost snatched down my second monitor with my big old feet. Okay. Step number one, most important part, that is to be good at football. Okay. If you're not good at football, it doesn't matter uh, how big you are, how fast you are. It really doesn't equate too much within the game. Uh, it's not going to help you out at all if you're not good at football. That is the most important thing: is to be good at football. Everybody asks me, how do I get recruited? And I watch your film, and you're not good at football, and there's not much you can work with if you're not good at football. Well, there's technically nothing you can work with if you're bad at football. That is reality. The second thing is, if you are good at football and you have not done it yet, you need to start a Twitter. Okay, your bio needs to be set up the right way. I've got a video from earlier on, I think within the year, maybe 4 months ago, I posted a video on how to set up your page. You can go look at that, but 9 times out of 10, if you're going to play college football, your recruiting is going to be based off of Twitter. Now, there's some guys out there that are freaks of nature that don't need Twitter, that walk into high school at a big school, and they're 6'5", 260 pounds. They play defensive line, and nobody really cares if they've got a Twitter or not. They just get their phone number, they offer them on the spot, and go from there. But unless you're one of those people, you've got to have a Twitter. Step number 3, okay, I'm good at football. I've got my Twitter. What do I need to do now? You need to make a highlight tape. Most of y'all already own this ball. Y'all already got it figured out. Make a highlight tape and post it on Twitter. I need to make a post here right quick. Put 2 F's. How about that? All right, you've made the highlight tape. Sorry about that. You've made the highlight tape. Now you've got to post the highlight tape. Now, I always recommend that you have your highlight tape ready when you make the Twitter, so you can go into this next step prepared and just ready to roll. You hit the ground running immediately, and that's going to be following and DMing coaches. Interesting enough, there is a philosophy to this that I would assume a lot of people would understand what I'm about to say here. You first find your target schools, especially if you're a little bit younger. If you're like a freshman or a sophomore or a junior and you've got plenty of time to get this kick started and you've got an idea of what level you can play at this point, you follow those target schools, coaches, staffs for those target schools, and then you can branch out after that. So you go to your dream. Okay, I follow my dream schools coaches, and then I follow all the coaches that coach at the level I believe that I can play at. I know it's kind of hard to find some. What I would recommend is here we'll enter this. Okay, you need to find coaches. If you can't find coaches, just look up receive and offer in Twitter at the top of your Twitter and hit latest. And then just scroll down on the latest post and find all the guys that have been offered by a school that you think you could play at. So if you think you could play in the Sun Belt and you've already been in contact with Georgia Southern's coaches, or you haven't, let's just say you haven't. So you think you can play Group of 5 football in the Southeast. So you think you could play in the Sun Belt. What do? You go in, you type receive an offer into the search bar on Twitter. You sort by latest post and just scroll down and click on every guy's profile that has received an offer from a Sun Belt school and follow all the coaches that they follow and follow all the coaches that follow them. And it's real basic. It's real easy. It's quick. I think if you're not verified on Twitter, now you can only follow 400 a day, and it's about 30 at a time. So what I recommend is you follow 30 coaches, you wait about 30 minutes, you follow another 30, and you keep doing it until you get to about that 400 mark. And I usually recommend people only follow about 300 a day. 100 is a good number to strive for, but 300 max just to be on the safe side, because you can get your timing messed up and it'll tell you, hey, you can't follow anybody for the next 3 days. So be careful about that. But that's a simple way to do it, is to just look up who's got an offer from where, see who's following them, who they're following, and it's pretty quick. What do you do when they follow you? I would recommend having like your highlight tape link in your notes in your phone, and then like a little paragraph typed up. Hey, Coach, thanks for the follow. Looking forward to building a relationship with you and the staff. Here's some information on me. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds. I play safety. My GPA is a 3.6. Here's my 40 time. All this, you're listing all this information. Just have it all typed up and updated in your notes. So just like that, you can just copy and paste it, send it to every coach's like immediately. Like once they follow you back, bam, I've sent it. They've got my information. And obviously, if they follow you back to begin with, they've got some little bit of interest. They've either A, heard about you before, seen your tape on their page, or B, they see you pop up, they read your profile, and they go, okay, well, this kid's got at least the measurables that we're looking for to play this position for us here at our program. That's pretty much a simplified version of following and DMing coaches. All right, so next is you got to get on campus. Now most of these schools, if they're actually interested, if you're younger, they're going to send you a camp invite. If you're a little bit older, They'll let you come on campus for like a game day visit or something like that, like an unofficial. It's important to get on campus because they don't really know if they don't have the money or the power to fly a helicopter to watch you play on Friday nights when they're not playing. Odds are they're not going to be able to see you in person all season long. And if you know college football season lasts a month, 2 months longer than high school football, depending on the state you play in. So how do they get to see you, or how do they actually know you're this big? How do they actually know you're this tall? How do they actually know how much you weigh? They have to see you in person. And most of the time what they'll do is they'll invite you to go on campus. You'll sign up. You'll show up for a game day visit. Now, this is in season. You'll sign up. You'll go on your visit. You'll meet the staff, the ones you've been texting, the ones that have followed you, the ones you've built a relationship with. They'll get your height and weight, and they'll come talk to you. And if they like what they see, if what they see in person is what they saw online in your highlight tape and in your bio, they'll shoot you the verbal offer. And that is what we call step 6 is collect the bag. Okay, you have officially reached your goal of getting the offer. Now, all of this, the offer stands as long as you keep your grades up, you don't get in trouble at school, you keep playing at a high level. All that's expected of you to do after you get that offer. But once you get to that point, you're pretty much set. Now you've gotten to where you can post the offer. Other coaches are automatically going to look at your page or look at your highlight tape because you've got an offer from said school. So it's pretty much undeniable that you can play at that level. Now, for some people, it's going to be a lot different than for others. I'll check my phone right quick. Some it's going to be a lot different than for others. Some people are going to start when they're freshmen. And this all looks a little bit different. Now, I can go down one by one. Okay, you're a freshman. What does being good at football mean if you're a freshman? That means playing on varsity as a freshman. Most of the time, these programs, now there are a few people that go to big schools, so their JV tape can translate early on to good tape. So if you're 14 years old, you're playing on JV, and you're 6'5", 210 pounds, of course they're going to look at it, especially if you're playing like defensive end or something like that. The odds are you're not playing JV if you're that big. But there's a lot of places that do it like that at these bigger schools. You're a 7A school, you got a JV team that's got good ball players on it that would start, obviously, at a single A school. So that's what being good at football is when you're a freshman. And sophomore, it can almost be that way still. As a freshman, you might not have a lot of tape, so when you start your Twitter, you might not have a lot of highlights to post, but you need to just be, creating a presence online. So, I'm lifting weights. Oh, look, I'm about my grades early on. I'm really serious about what I'm doing. Just keeping people updated if you've got the measurables and they're following you. Making sure to create like a trail or like a background online that's reflective of what you want the coaches to see in the future. Start creating good habits because college football is a job. So you've got a lot of things that you have to prepare for in order to play at the next level. So the earlier you get on that track, so if you're a freshman and you're keeping up with your grades and you're taking everything really seriously, it'll be easier, when you're a senior and all this stuff's going on and everybody wants you on campus. You're able to handle more because you're already used to having to do stuff like this. So you may or may not have a highlight tape, but following and DMing coaches, they can't text you back until August of your junior year. Division I schools, I think it's June or July if it's another level, like a lower level. So the DMing coaches isn't really going to help you out much unless you've got like phenomenal tape, and then they'll get in contact with your coaches. They'll find a way to get in contact with them. Get on campus. That's still, as a freshman, that's going to be hard to do if you don't have, if there's like an older guy that's willing to take you on a visit and they're getting recruited by a school, that's good. You can go with him, hang out with him, get to meet the coaches, create a relationship. Obviously, if you're a large gentleman, you're 14, 15 years old and you're pretty big, you're already a grown man, find a buddy that's getting recruited, create a relationship with somebody on your team that's older or from close by that's older that will take you on as a guest to these places, and so they can get eyes on you early. And not a lot of guys are going to get the offer as a freshman. Now there are a few, but there's not too many, not as many as sophomores or juniors or something like that. Now we go through as a sophomore. What's this look like when you're a sophomore? Being good at football. This is when, if you think you're going to play Division I football, you need to be playing on varsity at this point if you're a sophomore. Now, there's a few examples of people that didn't play on varsity as a sophomore that made it and played really high-level football, but more times than not, if you're not at least playing on varsity as a sophomore, the FBS route for you is going to be narrow because how early it starts. Now, it's still possible, but if you're not getting a highlight tape of like legit film when you're a sophomore, it gets a lot harder as a junior starting from square one. But let's say you do and you're good enough and you fit the bill. You've started the Twitter. Yes, make the highlight tape. Yes, follow and DM coaches, especially at the end of the year, because once summer hits and they can send you camp invites, you need to be on their board. So you need to be one of the guys that they go, okay, I want to see this kid in person. Let's offer him this summer at a camp. That's what you're thinking about. You need to be, the end of your sophomore season's over with. Okay, summer's coming up. I've got from November to May, the end of May. So I've got November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So I've got 7 months from the end of the year to the beginning of camp season. What do I do? Get ready for camp. So you can get the offer. You're following and you're DMing these coaches. Get ready for camp. So when you get on campus and you perform, you can collect the bag. You can get the offer at the end of your sophomore year. Now, if you're really good at football and you're a specimen, you won't even have to get on campus as a sophomore. If you're a no-brainer, they will call your coach and say, hey, we want this kid. We're going to offer him verbal. That's how that's going to. Now, there's plenty of people that have experienced that. There's plenty of examples. It is more than possible for that to happen for you if you can play at a high level at that early on in your career. Now, you're a junior, okay, at the beginning of summer. What does this look like for you in this 6-step process? You're good at football. You've started the Twitter. You've made a highlight tape. Nobody's offered you. Nobody's looked at you. It's time to be realistic. If I don't have a phenomenal junior season, I will not play at the FBS level. Now, listen, it's never D1 or bust. I recommend anybody, if you're from a place, or if you start in a place where there's no other opportunity other than playing college football to get out, you can play. If you can afford it, Division III, NAIA, Division II, JUCO, FBS, FCS, play football, get an education, and get yourself out of that situation. Now, if you don't have to play, if football's not what you're riding on, if you can pay full tuition, yeah, go have the D1 or bust mindset. If you can't play Division I football, if nobody's offering you, it's not worth breaking down your body. If that's how your thought process is, D1's the only thing worth it, full ride or nothing, so be it, okay? But that's not for everybody. But if you're a junior, you've got 2 years of tape, 1 season of tape, and nobody's looking at you, the reality of this is I have to have a great junior season in order to play to set myself up to play FBS football. And and if you have a bad junior season, or you have an average junior season that doesn't play out, I'll explain in just a bit how this works. But let's go. I could play FBS football as a junior. I'm really good. I think I could play high level Division I football. Great. So what are you doing? Following DM and coaches. This film, weekly, needs to be sent out. I've got new film every week. I'm following 100 coaches a day. I'm getting out. Bam, 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 bam. I'm hitting up everybody. And eventually, if you can play at that level, they'll find you. They'll ask you to show up on campus. They'll offer you. Ta-da. Beautiful. Okay, you've collected the bag. Real quick, you'll go on junior years when you'll start going on your unofficial visits. You know, you're driving hour and a half, 2 hours. You're hopping on a plane. You're going across the coast or whatever, across the states, going to games. Coaches are seeing you. If you can afford it, go do it. Phenomenal. You get to the end of your junior year. Here we go, back to the top. You get to the end of your junior year. Wasn't that great? Okay, what do? Go on Madden. Look at every stat there is on Madden. When you create a player, okay, outside of like height, weight, and all this stuff, so like speed, all this, max out all of your stats. This is what you want to do at this point. I get done with football in late November. By the time the end of May comes around, I need to have maxed out all of my stats. My frame's filled out. My speed's great. My agility's great. My knowledge of the game is phenomenal. So when I go in and I go to camps, I can compete at a high level. So when I walk into my senior year, this is my ride or die. This is it. If at the end of my junior year I have nobody looking at me, okay, and I want to play college football, I have to max out all of my stats. My potential must be fully filled out by the time I walk on the field my senior year, or preferably filled out before camp season starts, so you can go and compete and win and get the offers in. If you're not able to do that, if you can't pull that off, all right, what do we do? Okay, it's tough for some. The others is pretty simple. Okay, if you did not perform well, if you didn't max out all of your stats, and you want to play scholarship football, now that's the word I'm going to use, scholarship football, not college football, not D1 FBS football. If you just want some scholarship money, you've got about half of a season. When you get to your midseason tape, you need to send it to everybody and their grandmother, okay? They need to know who you are soon, so they can get you on campus, they can get you on these visits, and see you in person. So you need to be sending out film every single week. You need to be following coaches every single day. If you've got no offers and you're heading into your senior season, no offers, you've gone through camp, nobody offered you, okay? You've gone through summer workouts, nobody's offered you. Week one, or really and truthfully, your first scrimmage game, that tape needs to be sent out on Saturday. So you play Friday, you get your film Saturday morning, you send it out Saturday afternoon, and you send it to every single coach that follows you. And guess what? Once you've sent it to all of them, you go and you follow 300 coaches, and you send it to everyone that follows you back, and you continue until you find the level that is recruiting you, and just hammer it nonstop. I'm hammering it. I'm building relationships with coaches. I'm recruiting them, okay? When the recruiting process then flips, I'm recruiting the coach, okay? I'm asking him the questions. I'm trying to figure out as much information as I can to find the right fit for me, because options are slim. All right? If you're able to get on campus during the middle of your senior year for some visits, that's awesome. And then if they offer you, that's great. But go to anywhere. Go to the small schools. Go to the big schools. Well, you know what? I redact that statement. Don't just go anywhere. Go to where they want you to go. If they want you, go there. Don't if LeGrand. Okay, y'all probably don't. Some of y'all might not know who these people are. Okay, if a Division III school, if you've got 6 Division III schools that want you to come on campus during the season, okay, they send you 6 separate dates. You better not go to an FBS school that has no idea who you are. You've completely wasted your time. It does nothing for you. It will never do anything for you. You are a boy amongst men at this point. They do not care about you. They've already disregarded it. There's nobody that's going to walk on campus that they've never seen your film. If you're going in, it's your senior season, and you're a 5'10", 150-pound defensive back, and they don't know your name, and you're a senior, they won't care to know your name. They've already got who they want there. Okay, that is just the reality of it. Go to the schools that want you. Do not go visit these schools that shown zero interest, not followed you, never sent you anything, never talked to your coach about you, nothing. Do not go there. That is wasting your time as a senior. Go to the schools that want you. If you get the offer, you collect the bag. You create relationships. You continue to build on said relationships, and you do not stop. That is the perfect way to go. All right, that's if you're playing well. Now, that's during your season. You've gotten through now to the end of your senior season, and nobody's recruiting you at all. You've played 2 scrimmage games, 10 regular season games. Your team got absolutely annihilated. Y'all didn't make the playoffs. What do you do if you've gotten to this point and you've got no schools looking at you? You get all your film together. You get all your highlight tapes together. And you just start, you listen. Depending on how good you are, now you know how good you are. Division II schools, NAIA schools, Division III schools, and JUCO schools. Okay, Division II is going to finish first. So you've only got a certain amount of time before signing day to get on that board for a Division II school. Okay. Division III schools, NAIA schools, and JUCOs, they're filling out their roster up until school starts. So think about this. Can you play Division II football? If not, can you play Division III football? Okay, you need to develop. Can you play JUCO football? Do you really love it that much? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, you find the local schools, you follow all the coaches, you send them all of your information, you ask your head coach at school, your head football coach, can you please make some phone calls for me? I need this, I need that. This is where I want to go. Okay, make sure your grades are good. Make sure you've got good character. You've got your film ready. You're sending it out. At this point, if they like you, they'll have you on campus at the end of the year. Towards the big what month would I say? March, April. You're there. You're on campus. They may offer you then. They may offer you over a graphic in your Twitter DMs. They may offer you over a phone call. But you have, and this is synonymous with every single at this point. The moment you get varsity tape, and it's good, if it's 10 seconds or if it's 10 minutes, if it's your best, if it's the best of the best, if it's of highlight quality, you need to be posting and shoving it down people's throats every day until the cows come home. And you just need to be just essentially balls to the wall, following, DMing, commenting, replying, liking, posting all day. You need to be working on your craft in the weight room, agility, you're doing all this stuff. What's going to help you out the most throughout all of this is step 1, be good at football, max out all your stats, everything that you have. If it pops up on Madden, they don't give you a grade for rate, they don't give you a rating for size. But all this other stuff, all these other skills, you have to have a 99. That's the mentality. You have to break the scale. You have to max out all of your stats. And in your quest to do this, you're following coaches, you're DMing coaches. Everything's going to fall in place. Have your grades, have your character. This is very basic. Now, there's pieces to this. There's little tidbits of information, like little fine lines you have to follow, and there's certain things. But if you've got any questions like that that you don't understand, or you've run into something that there's information that you need to know, uh, you can get on my Twitter and you can ask me, or Instagram, or whatever. You can comment up under one of these and I'll try to answer it. But this is the really just watered down baseline level of the steps of recruiting. Uh, Nothing fancy. It's not that complicated. It takes time, but once you figure it out, just like anything else, it becomes just second nature, and you just no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. I wish you luck. Y'all have a good one.